The CLA has been supporting London since its inception. It was created as a community interest company simply to help for London to recover and survive. So that was its purpose. We thought that that stage when we first started that it was going to simply be a very short-term thing and we'd make ourselves redundant. Unfortunately, the pandemic has got worse and the response to it has extended. So for London, we needed to create a voice where there was a vacuum of noise or lack of noise, and to amplify the views of many, many people who thought that we needed to respond to the disproportionate effect on London and Londoners. So it wasn't just businesses, it wasn't just big businesses, it was attractions and particularly those people that were being disproportionately affected, the young people in particular. One thing about the pandemic, of course, is that it affects everybody, old and young, all different communities, perhaps in slightly different ways, disproportionately, as I said, in some, but in capital cities like London, that is dependent on a mobile population and creation and innovation, arts and culture and attractions and so on, incoming visitors, and that 500,000 people just into the 1 square mile to work every day. It's been substantially damaged in this pandemic. We need it to recover and to be the great global city that it has been in the past, and I'm sure it will be in the future. But it's somebody has to be a catalyst, and where there was no noise, we needed the support of brand partners, we needed business supporters, we need media organisations, including international hospitality media, supporting that industry. The hospitality industry has been disproportionately impacted. It's so dependent on a mobile population. Hotels, hospitality, restaurants, attractions, visitors and so on have been really, really severely impacted, perhaps under existential threat. So we need to have somebody, that somebody is initially the Central London Alliance in partnership with many, many brand partners and business supporters and advocates who are with the agenda. Collaboration and partnership is what we're about, and we've encouraged it. People like Optimiser who have built our platform and threw their hat into the ring in the early stages are really, really vital for us.
For us, this was an amazing initiative and we definitely wanted to be part of it. London has been the engine of growth for whole United Kingdom, and anything that tries to bring it back to its glory days, we definitely want to be part of it. But more than that, because it was such a noble initiative in our opinion, we wanted CLA to be very, very effective, and Optimiser is one platform which can make them very effective. To manage all their database at one place, fully automated and able to reach to many more people than they ever have been, and get that growth in their membership and the reach that they needed to bring that message back to people that it's time to come back and let's go again. Let's go to normal days, basically.
From our point of view in the CLA, what did we need to do? We needed to reach lots of people. We need to reach businesses, we need to reach consumers, we need to reach institutions and associations, media organisations, we needed to reach local authorities, we needed to reach central government, we needed to be able to have a single platform to be able to do so. And so I knew about Optimiser. And I wanted them to provide the platform so that we could do that. It has a single platform. It means that we're able to, with one database, we're able to contact people to run events like the one we're having today to open up London on one platform. We don't need the equivalent of .mailer or MailChimp. We can run everything off one platform. We don't need Dropbox for packages. We don't need to have a separate hospitality or events management system. It's all built in one place, and in a remote working world where many people were working remotely, to have our data in one place, to allow them to access it and to be able to work effectively and efficiently was absolutely essential for us. We couldn't have done it without it. And they, like other of our brand partners, are enablers. They've enabled us to reach further, to work much harder. We've currently reached over 16 million people as a result of our consumer campaign. We would have not got close to it. There are organisations that have spent multiple millions in having that kind of reach, but we've been able to do it on a shoestring relatively because we built the platform. London is a great place for innovation and creativity, and so a London-based technology company that can provide us with the facility and the enabling power in 21st century technology. So it's not, I regard it as an electric car. We're not using diesel anymore, we're not using petrol, we're not even hybrid. We've missed out the 20th century and all the customer relationship tools that were perhaps pre-existing, and we've gone straight onto the electric, much more efficient, much more thorough platform, and that serves us well. But I knew about Optimiser because the Institute of Travel and Managers, formerly the Institute of Travel Managers, now the Institute of Travel and Meetings, utilise this platform. So all their various subsections of members, their patron suppliers, their travel managers themselves, for events, for meetings and so on, and for their sponsors for events and so on, were using and have been using this platform. So as a supplier, as a hotel partner, as a supplier to the ITM, I knew of the platform and knew how powerful it could be. So I asked them, and they suggested Optimiser, and endorsed it as advocates of it. So I knew where to go. So from my point of view, the answer was very simple: use the best of breed. Use it in my industry experts that working with hotels and hospitality providers, and from their point of view, I'm sure that Varun will have something to say about why it's good for the industry and why it works for them.
Well, we are helping several hotels now to manage their data more importantly and become more effective as they come back from the pandemic days and back to their glory. For us, what we truly believe at Optimiser is that every hotel works in its own way, and we can't have an off-the-shelf solution given to a hotel and just ask them to run as that software works. We don't believe in that. So that's why we have built a software which is very, very configurable, and it works as the hotel wants it to work, the way they want to run their operations. And the second thing is, what we have truly believe in is giving them the opportunity to have single source of truth. By that we mean that bring everything at one place, because when all your data, all your actionable data is at one place, you can pretty much do magic. Because once you have everything talking and connecting to each other, then suddenly it gives you the insight of your business that no other system can. And based on that insight, you can do a lot of things, further improve your revenues, improve your operations, improve your reach to your clients. And right from every touch point that you have in your business, Optimiser is there somewhere helping you to become better than you were ever before.
And the world has been, increasingly more reliant on data. I mean, we hear about our Prime Minister talking about it's data, not dates, that are making and informing the decisions. It's equally the same. I have bought hotels, and frankly, if the vendors of a hotel had removed all the beds, they'd sacked all the staff, they'd cut off all the utilities, they'd removed all the supply chain, and I took over that hotel, I would be able to probably get new utility companies, new staff, new beds, and be able to get the hotel up and running in probably something in the order of a week, but certainly weeks. If they cut off my data, if I didn't know who my clients were, if I didn't know when they would book, what their booking patterns, if I didn't know whether they're corporate or leisure, if I had no guest history, if I had no forward bookings information, if I didn't know who was having weddings or events, I would have real trouble. My business would really suffer. And I think that probably exemplifies the point that data and data management is more important today than it ever has been. And it always has been important, but we've never been able to access it as easily as we can now, and we use Optimiser in order to help us do that.